returning to Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be intimidating. Luckily, there are a lot of great creators out there who provide helpful content. But this is my journey. While getting back into the game is mostly expensive, I'm doing it the smart way.
And buy the singles!
This series is dedicated to building a competitive deck, but only with singles and on a mightily small budget. €2.50 per week. Welcome to Yugioh-Heroes. Well, hello there, my fellow gentle nerds. This is Echo again, and this is episode 7 of Yugioh-Heroes. I hope you didn't mind that this episode is not coming out on Saturday, as you probably realized by now, and this episode is coming out on Sunday, a day late. I usually upload on Saturday, 18:15 GMT +1, but this time it's a day late, since I couldn't be there for the episode going live. Since I attended a funeral, I didn't want it to conflict with the upload, so I just postponed it a day. I hope that is no issue for you, and I really hope you're going to enjoy this episode anyway. So this episode is going to be the last episode with the opening that I had in episode 5, where I got like 15 cards that I split up into 3 episodes, and this time it's going to be the last episode with this opening. So we actually are going to finish this up, fill up our deck, and I will probably tell you right now that the next episode's opening is not going to be the same like the others before, since we have a whole bunch of cards and now we are going to go for the money cards. So the openings are going to be a lot smaller and a lot more focused on the duels, other than now having always the maximum amount of cards that we're going to add per episode. But we're going to talk about that in the next episode. This time I will go right into the opening or the showcase of the new cards, so you know what we're going to add, what we're going to replace, and I hope you enjoy that and see you there. Okay, so we are here. We have new cards and I'm going to present them to you. I think this episode is the least impactful of the 3 where I got the whole order of, and if you hear any noises or any sniffing or poofing, those are my dogs. They are lying right next to me, and I don't know, they were pretty chill, and I hope that stays that way. So we have our 5 new cards for the week. I'm going to go right into it, and I think, as I said before, this is not going to be as impactful as the other 2 episodes beforehand. We have the Vision Hero Celestial. I think Celestial only comes up if we draw into a second Fusion Destiny. I think we can make use of him then, but he is okayish. His effect is not that impactful like the Dynatag, Malicious, or Plasma. So it is there. I take him into the deck, but I'm not sure about his future in the deck, if he is going to stay there. But for now, we need him. Then we have, of course, our third Fusion Destiny. So we have the playset in the deck. Very important card. I can combo start very, very well of it. So I think it is worth it. And once we have the Liquid Soldier, this is a 1 card Dark Law. I think that is insane. Then I'm going to fill up the extra deck. We have the Extra Hero Wonder Driver, and he's okayish, I think. I'm not particularly sure about it, but I think he's okayish. I probably will try some stuff out with him, but it's okay. Then we have, the Extra Hero Dread Decimator. I think he has a good amount of OTK potential. He brings a lot of OTK potential to the deck, and I think we definitely need him, because if we are able to go into combos and to build a board, I think we need to OTK, or else we don't have that much follow-up. And the last card is as well an extra deck card, and that is the Vision Hero Trinity. as well OTK potential. I think he is very, very good, since he is 5000 on the turn he is summoned and has 2 or a third attack even. I mean, I can't attack directly, but imagine with Dread Decimators, piercing damage and Trinity on board. This is I think this is a sure OTK then. And well, that's it for the cards that we are going to add. I'm going to show you some stuff because I have to move a few cards. These 2, 1 Torrential Tribute and 1 Mask Charge, go into the side deck now. This is just because I felt like Torrential Tribute is very, very important for the deck, but we need a bit of space there. So 1 Mask Charge and 1 Torrential Tribute. Because we are going down on the Masked Heroes as of right now, I think I could cut one. Not a Mask Change, but a Mask Charge is okay, I think. And for the cards that are completely going to be cut from the whole deck, whether it's side or extra deck or main deck, we have 1 Pot of Duality. Oh, I moved the camera. The Pot of Duality, it doesn't come up. I can't bring myself to side this card in or something like this, so cutting 1 card of this seemed reasonable to me. 1 Righteous Justice, I'm not using those. I mean, yeah, I could, and it's a good back row removal, so I still have 2 in the deck, because I nearly always have an elemental hero on board, but this is going down, the count is going down, so I'm cutting down on it right now. And from the extra deck we are going to cut 1 card of our starter cards, except for the Chaos, which was cut last week, and the Dark Law is still at 3, but we are definitely going to cut Dark Law in the future down to 2. He's still going to get 2. He is too good for that. So we have Divine Wind, Koga and Great Tornado, which are going into the binder. That's it for this deck, for this opening, and this is the last episode where I know the cards that are there. I ordered the cards for episode 8, 9, and I think 11, because episode 10 is something special. But I'm not sure about when they arrive or which cards arrive first, or if the cards... I have to make this differentiation, cards, if they're going to arrive early enough for the filming of episode 8. So we have to see what's going to be there for episode 8. And this is it for episode 6, 7. I'm sorry, it is episode 7. We are that far into the series right now. So without further ado, let's go into the duels. Okay, so on to the duels, and this is getting a bit interesting this week. We start off again against the ThePokeMonarch game 1, and well, to summarize the first turns, he goes first and goes into his Spirit Dragon thingy. I Fusion Destiny into Dystopia and get Trinity, and that gets destroyed by the Moonlight Dragon that I had to deal with the last episode. And from there, I'm trying to go into Dark Law, but the Mask Chain gets Twin Twisted, and from there he could build a huge board, and I top deck Raigeki, which was huge. And after some back and forth, I clear his board with Sunrise, and then he scoops. Game 2. We go into Sunrise and Stratos, and he composes my Sunrise. From there I got the Sunrise back with a Miracle Fusion, but I misplay with the back to the front. But from there another misplay happened. I locked myself out of using my Celestial to draw 2 cards because I got the Search for Honest Neos, which was a good plan, but I couldn't use the Honest Neos, so I always had a card in hand and couldn't resolve the effect of Celestial in Grave, and so he actually beat me down with his own Honest. And there I scoop. Game 3. I had the classic Solid Soldier into Dark Law combo. He could combo and bounce a card with his Moonlight Dragon. I set a Torrential and a Solid Soldier and pass. His next turn, I could Torrential Tribute him. From there I could go into Fusion Destiny and try to do a smaller combo, but with that I would be shy of just 300 damage, so he clears my whole board with a Dark Hole, and I could just clean up the game from there, since he didn't have anything to throw against me. We won against the ThePokeMonarch 2-1 this week, which was arguably the closest match that we probably had since the beginning of this series. So I'm excited that those duels are getting closer and closer, but I'm a bit scared that he might overwhelm me in the future. For our second match, I'm up against JD, and JD is doing a Road to Mastery series. That means he has one deck that he's going to commit for 1 month, and he's trying to learn the ins and outs of the deck and trying to be ever better with the deck. You can check his link in the description. As always, the links of the duelists that have links are in the description as always. This time he has the Black Wings, and he could go into a Black Whirlwind turn 1, which is like the most important card, and he could go into a Blackwing Full Armor Master, and that thing is scary. So I tried to build a board, but I get torrentialed, and with my torrential I couldn't clear his Full Armor Master since, well, it is protected. And I desperately tried to resolve a Hero Lives in the end, and that gets Solid Striked, which sucked, and I lost game 1. Game 2, right off the bat, I get Drillin Lockbird. So in turn 1 I couldn't do really anything, so I pass with 1 set card. He gets out some Raid Raptors and tries to build a board with us, and I go into Wonder Driver and Sunrise, bringing him down to 300 LP after just that turn. The next turn, he alphas me. He completely alphas my board with Alpha the Master of Beasts, and I get Stratos out on the empty board and swing for game. So I actually won against a full power deck, and then something happened. We tried to go into game 3, and we completely got wiped out of this game. So we have like a 4th replay. I'm not going to insert this here since it doesn't matter. Fact is, I had a pretty good board and maybe had potential to win this game, but we had to redo the game, the whole thing. So game 3, he actually has another Black Whirlwind and another Full Armor Master. I attack over his Full Armor Master with my Dark Claw, and I had the Honest Neos in hand, and for the next turn I Torrential Tribute his board. Then he Pankratops my Dark Claw, and from there isn't much that I can do. I try to discard the Dynatek to reduce my damage, but he recovers and leaves me with 700 LP, and there he wins. So after 4 games, to be honest, we lost 2-1. So we are like 3-3 this week. We have 1 match win, 1 game win. And for the last match of this week, we are playing against Nocadar. And Nocadar we played in episode 1. So this is like the first rematch apart from the ThePokeMonarch duels. And he's doing a series about progression, like the progression of 2021. So he uses just new sets that are getting released and tries to build different decks every week. And for this week he went into the Ice Barrier structure decks. So my hand in game 1 was Brick City. I had 2 Destiny Heroes. I mean, I could go into Dark Lore with the Celestial and the Mask Change, but it is not the usual combo and it doesn't have any backup from like Honest Neos. And then I try to remove the back row with like Stratos and Dark Lore on board, but there comes down a Crackdown, and that brings the Dark Lore on his side, and that turned any tide that I maybe had. So he combos off into Trishula. I set pass with a Miracle Fusion, so I had like nothing on board, just the Miracle Fusion set. He clears my board from there again, now having both Trishulas on his side of the field. I top deck into Stratos and maybe thought I could go into like something like Honest Neos and beat over one of the Trishulas, but he Ice Barns the Stratos, so it's in defense position and I couldn't recover from that. I scooped the game from there. Game 2. My hand is somewhat fine. I get the Sunrise and the Great Tornado, but he could go into his Gungnir, which clears my board completely, and when I try to get like Stratos out on board, it gets Fiendish Chained. So I had like really nothing that I could do. Next turn I used Raigeki on him, which clears his Gungnir, but he sets Crackdown, and that is important because from there I could actually go into Dark Lore, which would mean a huge swing in the game. But he had the Crackdown again, and the Crackdown took my Dark Lore over again. And that is how I lost 2-0 against Ice Barriers. Well, I'm not proud of it since it's just the 3 structure decks and nothing more. But it is what it is. We lost 2-0. Crackdown is a hell of a card, but it is what it is. We lost like 2 matches, we won 1, and we won a game. So that is actually some progress. Next week is definitely going to be something else. Since I'm going to spoil this now, there's one very important card that we're going to get next week. But stay tuned for that. I won't spoil any more of that. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you subscribe to the channel, give it a like, give it a comment, what you may like in the series to see, what you maybe didn't like, just let me know. I will see you in the next episode next week. See you then, bye bye.